It's your boy Alex. Welcome to Alex Sports Talk and Spets, where I break down the best bets and we just talk sports in general. And I wanted to talk about something I already kind of discussed a little bit in one of my shorts. It's the most popular short on this channel, but I want to get into further detail with it. For those of you who follow my other channel, y'all might have heard me say before that when I was growing up, my nickname was Prophet. I used to get called Prophet or Nostradamus because I used to always predict things before they happened. And in that short, which I want to elaborate a little bit more on this video, I discussed how sports fans are the biggest haters. And it's like, with modern sports fans today, athletes are damned if they do and damned if they don't. And I remember not too long ago, probably like 3 years ago, I was talking to one of my boys. And I was just telling him, I was like, man, I don't know if it's just me getting older or what it is, but I find myself liking sports like less and less. Like liking to talk about it less. Like my enjoyment of the game is just kind of being sucked away, and I don't know exactly what it is. And I realized like a month after that the reason I was enjoying sports less wasn't because I had any less of an appreciation for the game, right? Wasn't because the athletes are any less phenomenal. It was because sports fans are absolute haters now, who are insatiable, and because of sports debate shows, which in my opinion, the sports debate shows, specifically ones like First Take with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless. I know Skip's on Undisputed now, but especially when First Take blew up. Because that's what created the toxic sports fan, in my opinion. And then that's what made sports fans the biggest haters. Because now, everything is about how someone is not as great, or taking away accomplishments, or just downplaying people in general, no matter what. And it's like literally no matter what they do. Like, for example, in my short that went viral, I mentioned how everyone was making fun of Jalen Brunson because he took a $113 million pay cut so that the Knicks could keep OG Anunoby, bring in Miles Bridges, and basically chase a championship, right? Now, you would think, with as much as you hear people complain about how athletes are selfish and athletes are overpaid and they don't consider the team and they don't care about winning, all they care about is money, that Jalen Brunson would have been universally praised by everyone for turning down money to assure that the team had enough money to sign him help. Instead, they got criticized. They criticized Jalen Brunson. You had sports pundits on sports talk shows talking about how he's a fool for turning down the money because that doesn't guarantee a championship. You had sports fans calling him stupid, goofy, dumb, saying that he's slow for not taking the money. Now, this was funny to me because I remember Knicks fans bashing the hell out of Carmelo Anthony because he took a max contract, right? And I remember saying in that short, I was like, this is funny because everyone's making fun of Jalen Brunson for taking a pay cut, but I guarantee you when Jordan Love, right, when he signs his new contract and becomes the highest paid quarterback in the league, everyone's going to be making fun of him for that. And what happened? Jordan Love has signed his contract. He's become the highest paid quarterback in the league. And what did everyone do? Oh, he's selfish. Oh, he's taking all the money. Oh, how the Packers going to ever sign any players to help him when he's getting paid so much? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And guys, I'm telling you, this mentality from sports fans has come from them damn sports debate shows. Where you always someone has to suck. It's one thing if you're having a debate about who's better. It's a whole other thing when you're always trying to find a reason how someone isn't good enough. Like, look at Simone Biles. I'll give you guys another example. This is what I'm talking about when I say modern sports fans is just annoying because they're just haters. When she dropped out of the 2020 Olympics because she had twisties, which is a real mental disorder, everyone was calling her a quitter. Everyone was saying she's not the GOAT. She's not this. She's not that. Okay. So the girl decides to come back this year in the Paris Olympics and go on a revenge tour. All right, Team USA wins the gold medal by leaps and bounds, basically. There was no real competition for it, right? And so you would think now she becomes the most decorated gymnast in history, right? In all history. There's never been a United States gymnast better than Simone Biles who's accomplished more than Simone Biles has. And you would think everyone would be happy and everyone would be praising her because one, she redeemed herself, came back, make sure we got our gold medal back, and two, she's the most decorated U.S. gymnast of all time. But that's not what's happening. Instead, you're seeing comments like this. Now, all of a sudden, people who know they don't know a damn thing about gymnastics, right? Now all of a sudden they got a scorecard. Well, she stepped out several times. She should have been deducted the points for that. And this is favoritism because they don't know anything about gymnastics and they fail to realize Simone Biles' level of difficulties is leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. So just for her being able to pull off the moves she can pull off, which no one else in the world can do, right? They wouldn't even attempt it. The deduction she gets for stepping out of bounds due to the power that she generated to pull off said move pales in comparison to the difficulty bonus she has. That's why she's not penalized as much for stepping out. But you know, people who don't know shit about gymnastics and they just want to be haters, people who want to be like the Skip Bayless in the comment sections, they're not going to account for any of that. They're just going to say that it's biased and she's still not the GOAT. Right? So first y'all hated her for dropping out. Then she comes back, helps America secure a gold medal, and y'all still hating on her. We got people talking about how, oh, she's not graceful. My favorite gymnasts are graceful. I understand that she's accomplished, but I don't like her power because her power is not graceful. So when she quit, right? These same people, instead of being happy she wasn't there, were literally pissed because she quit. Then she comes back, does GOAT things. She's better than everyone else. Now these same people who are complaining that she's quit is complaining that she's there and saying that she only won because of bias and basically saying that even though, right, numbers don't lie, men wide, women wide, numbers don't lie, especially when it comes to sports, they're still saying she's not the GOAT. Now they want to talk about how she's not artistic. Now they want to talk about how she should get points deducted as if they're a judge. And it just goes back to my overarching theme. This is why sports are hard to enjoy nowadays. Because everybody just hates on everything. No one can be great. No one can be great. Then you tell people to be humble. And this is why I tell athletes all the time not to be humble. Because Simone Biles is literally humble. Simone Biles is about as humble as you can get. And what does it get her? It got people calling her a quitter. As people saying, even though she's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, they still enjoy watching other people because they're more artistic. It's got people trying to say that there's bias in her favor, not accounting for her difficulty because she stepped out of bounds one time. You still have haters. This is why I'm a fan of confident athletes. People call it cocky. I call it confidence. And the words of Jada Kiss. And I'm not cocky, I'm confident. So when you tell me I'm the best, it's a compliment. Simple as that. The reason I like cocky athletes is because I realize no matter what you do as an athlete, right? Sports fans today are going to hate on you. It doesn't matter, especially if your ass is black. All right? That's not to say you won't get hate if you're white, but if you're black, you might as well just be cocky because people are going to hate you regardless. And I'm just telling the truth because look at Jalen Brunson. Humble. Took a pay cut to sign talent. People called him an idiot. They called him stupid. They made fun of him. Jordan Love. Not humble. Confident. Pay me what I'm worth. People call him an idiot. People say he's selfish. Made fun of him. Simone Biles, humble, right? People still say she's not the GOAT. They rigged the scorecards for her. She's not graceful, so I don't enjoy watching her. It doesn't matter if you're humble or not. People still gonna talk crap about you. Because at the end of the day, these people are broke. These people are miserable, and they have the internet. And sports debate shows has made it so that everybody wants to have some type of a polarizing opinion, even if that polarizing opinion doesn't make sense. And social media culture has played into that too, because everybody wants to go viral. And you'll go viral more for saying Simone Biles sucks than you'll go viral for saying that she's the GOAT, which she is. You'll go more viral for saying LeBron James ain't Michael Jordan than just for saying LeBron James is the GOAT of his era. And I don't even like LeBron James. I can't stand LeBron James. But I'm not going to say he's not one of the GOATs of his era, unless I'm trolling. But you guys get the point. Everyone's a hater now. And it's like no matter what the athletes do, it's not good enough. They start talking about the 90s and old school years. People out here talking about football players today couldn't survive in the 90s because of the new rules. If football players today played with the rules of the 90s, them dudes in the 90s would die. All right? You did not have 6'5", 275-pound defensive ends running 4.5 40s coming around the corner in the 80s and the 90s. You didn't. Do y'all want to go back? I mean, people be going back to the 60s. Well, back in the 60s, the rules were way tougher. These dudes were smoking cigarettes in the locker room, and you want to compare an athlete who's smoking a cigarette in the locker room, right? And the Kansas City Chiefs played the Green Bay Packers in the first Super Bowl in the 1960s. The Chiefs coach, the Chiefs quarterback, was literally smoking a stogie in the locker room. You think that fool could take a hit from TJ Watt? You're out of your goddamn mind. The reason the rules are different today is because the athletes are better today. But don't expect any sports fan to say that, because they got to find a reason to hate. So what they're going to do is they're going to take the rule change and use that to diminish athletes today. Like those stuck in the 90s dudes. Them same dudes who say any player who plays basketball today wouldn't have been able to do what they're doing today in the 90s. As if anyone in the 90s could do what Steph Curry was doing. There's no one in the 90s who would have been able to guard Steph Curry. Because the Jordan rules, which is funny that they call basketball soft now, when in reality, basketball is really only soft because of Jordan. That's why they call them the Jordan rules. Jordan is the reason you can't hand check. Jordan is the reason you can't smack people in the paint. The 3-second rule. A lot of that stuff came from Jordan, but I digress. Either way, all that hand checking and hard fouling going to the paint wouldn't have even mattered to a Steph Curry because he's shooting from the logo at a high clip. But people are still going to tell you he couldn't play back then. You got cats 6'8", 270. People talking about some of the game was too physical in the 90s. There wasn't no dudes 6'8", 270 in the 90s. Come on now. Like, between the sports debate shows and talking about everything around the athletes and who they dating and all this other stuff that don't even got nothing to do with the sports, and then sports fans just finding any and everything to hate on and being hypocrites with their haters. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That type of stuff will make you not even have a love for the game of sports anymore because it just becomes a cesspool of negativity. So how I had to get my love back for enjoying sports was to just kind of unplug myself from all of that. I stopped watching sports debate shows. I stopped going back and forth with people online. Because I realized most people were idiots, and they were haters, and they never wanted to give people credit. And so this is why I always encourage athletes, if you're the best in your craft, you might as well say it. You might as well be brash, because what's the difference? You don't get no reward for being humble. The only reward you get for being humble, and this is a gym. The best gyms always come for those who stay till the end. The only reward you get for being humble is making people who aren't as good as you feel comfortable in their averageness. Let it breathe, run it back. The only reward you get for being humble is making people who are not as good as you feel comfortable with their averageness. That's it. There is no other reward you get for being humble. None. And sports fans are just, they're absolute haters, man. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. No matter what you do, people are just going to be negative about it. That's just the reality of the situation. I've just come to accept that about sports fans. It doesn't matter. Take the money, don't take the money. Brag, don't brag. People still not going to like you. It doesn't make a difference. So I say if you're an athlete, you're a young athlete watching this, do you. If you're the best, you might as well say it. Because people are going to hate you regardless. We just in a hating society. And if you've ever felt the way I mentioned feeling at this video, where you start to feel like, God damn, I'm not even enjoying sports the same way I used to enjoy sports because people hate so much, I'm telling you right now, the solution to that problem is just unplug. Unplug from sports debate shows and unplug from social media. Because social media and sports debate shows, man, they'll make you hate sports. I'm telling you, because everyone's just a hater and everyone's just a hypocrite. And it'll start to project on you, man. When sports is supposed to be feel good, you know? It's supposed to be admiration. You're supposed to admire an athlete. Someone who's in the top 1% of what they can do. Either way, y'all, that's my thoughts on that. I am Alex, y'all, and I am out. Peace.